Mark, thank you very much for showing us around today. I must have been dealing with your nursery since about what would be 84, I think?
Yeah, mid-80s I would
Mid
think.
80s. And I dealt with your dad, Bill, who started it all up.
Yeah.
I always thought, when I discovered that he'd been a pig farmer before and then he changed to nursery stock, I thought that's such a brave move. But I do think that farmers in the Fen and this area generally, they are the most innovative farmers in the country, because they all seem to start up different side shoots and do extraordinary offshoots from farming.
Yeah, no, they've had to diversify. It's becoming more and more difficult unless you're a big farmer. So small farms have had to find different ways, a bit innovative on what they can do to earn a living, particularly on a smaller farm.
But particularly in the Lincolnshire area, I think they're particularly innovative. I just see what they've done. But the reason I've always gone to you for a lot of stock for clients is because you have a vast range, don't you? So you produce everything from big specimen trees down to little alpines, herbaceous, screening trees, and so I can just do one order and then you send it out to a client.
Yes, no, and that's what we're looking to do, is a complete order of what people want of theirs across the whole range, rather than bitting about all over the place trying to find something there. We can bring it all together as what's needed to complete a whole job, and that's what we're looking to do.
And that's what gardeners like as well, isn't it? Because it takes a long time sometimes to source all the plants from different things for your garden, and there's a lot of delivery. And if it can all come on one, it's much, much easier. And we're really pleased that our members will be able to tie in with you too, like I do, and they can send me a complete order of what they want. They'll email it to me, you will then quote on it, and then you'll give them a price for transport, because transport's a big variable, so you'll see their postcode, and then you can quote them to deliver it to their door.
It's such an advantage to do the whole lot together, because you can imagine on a landscaper situation, or the guy that's planting the whole lot, the last thing he wants is multiple deliveries, retracing his steps over different areas. You want the whole lot there together to do, and if it comes in one and we do the pulling together, then it makes it so much easier for that landscaper who's planting it to do the whole job.
Because that is your main bread and butter at the moment. It's a big landscape contracts, it's garden centres, it's people like me. You're mainly supplying them, but this is a way that the public, as long as they spend £500, isn't it? That's your minimum order.
No, it needs to be up to a certain level just to make it viable on a transport situation, to get that whole order together.
And I think if 2 or 3 gardeners get together, or a gardening club, you can quite easily get to that price. But obviously with your prices, they'll get far more in their trolley or lorry than they would if they went down to a garden centre.
Definitely. Better value as far as that's concerned. Okay, you can get a tree, obviously, that costs that straight away, £500, or a big amount of herbaceous can come to that sort of amount of money, or a mixture of smaller stuff. But big plants can cost that much in one go.
And what would you say are the most popular plants? You see different trends and what people are going for the whole time. And what do you think this summer? Are they going over to many more perennials?
I would say you're going down the route, there's more pushing towards hedging, screening is quite one of our bigger areas as far as that's concerned. We move a lot more of that bigger, and everyone wants bigger, more instant impact as time goes on.
Really? So it's things like, what are your top screens that you do? I've noticed some ivy panels somewhere there. Big ivy panels through there.
It's something that we do supply and can source ivy panels, but we're growing more along the lines of pleached trees and that sort of thing, and from laurel hedge, from Portuguese laurel to yew hedge, and all that sort of stuff as well.
So are you growing most of it here? What percentage do you propagate and grow on, and what percentage do you buy in and pot up?
It doesn't matter how big you are yourself, you'll never get, with looking to do that whole garden, Designers are looking for different sort of effects. So you're, wherever you are and whoever you are, you're always going to be doing a certain amount of trading for completing a whole job. There's different nurseries that just grow and ones that will look for the whole job.
But so you do propagate some yourself?
Yes, no, we do a bit of propagation ourselves, not majorly, mainly buying young modules and growing them on rather than doing a lot of propagating ourselves.
I mean, it's been moving that way for the last 30 years, and it's specialisation. So certain people do propagating, growing the liners on and potting up and selling because of the way the whole, well, it's the same in Holland.
It is.
I'm always amazed at the Dutch nurseries, how that you get one grower just doing one type of plant, like camellias or box or whatever. And then they have these massive marketing people who go around and sort of pull them all together. It's a completely different system to here.
It is, they work together very well to as almost cooperatives to specialise in certain areas and then pull together, and we work closely with people in Holland who help us and do our whole supply when our trading stuff comes, some from the UK, some from Holland and some from other places in Europe as well.
Germany, Belgium.
Yes, Germany, Belgium, France, Italy. It's surprising where plants can come from.
Yeah, certainly. So should we go and look at some of your stock?
Yes.
I find, Mark, when I get lists from you of quotations and you say 3 litre pot will be X, 5 litre will be Y, and I find it difficult to envisage the actual size. So here you very kindly set out these for us of various different pot sizes. So these are obviously common hedging plants that you've got a range of what you stock. So on the far end we have your favourite.
Yeah, well, Euonymus japonicus, they're slightly different cultivars from Gene Hughes or Green Spire.
And they are tipped to be a good replacement for box, dwarf box.
Yes.
So the front ones all are 3 litre pot.
Yeah, well, 2 and 3 litres.
Oh, 2 and 3. Oh no,
but they tend to be a similar size plant in a 2 and 3 litre.
Right, so and we are talking about 150 mil across, 6 inches by about 6 inches deep. And you get a nice sturdy little plant. And they, in terms of price, we've got the 2 to 3 and then we've got the 5.
Yes, the
5 litre pot. And these are obviously the Portuguese laurel. And then we've got the bigger one, which is just a 10 litre.
Yeah, that's a 7.5 and 10 litres, a similar sort of size pot that we tend to be producing as that next level of size. It's the size of plant always, in my opinion, that's what you're looking.
And this is Prunus lusitanica, the Portuguese laurel.
Yes.
And there's many different forms of that, aren't there? With the tighter leaf.
Yeah, well, that one is actually angustifolia.
Angustifolia.
Which is actually a little bit better disease resistance, and it is a slightly smaller leaf than the proper Portuguese laurel, which is a larger leaf.
Right.
But it stands better with cutting, being a smaller leaf. If it's a big leaf, like on a common laurel, then
you've got to cut it with
damage when you're cutting it, because you can't do everything by a pair of
you have to do shears really with that, don't you? You can't really use a hedge. I much prefer this, the smaller leaf forms particularly of the laurel, the Portuguese laurel. And the pot size of that one, just so you know, is probably it's almost 280 mil.
Yeah, I think
8
it is
inches,
about that, on the top.
9 inches, 10 inches, that sort of thing. Yeah, lovely. And then with these, obviously the other thing people get confused about is, well, first of all, the price. So what would be the price variation of the 3 sizes?
It's a rough guide. You're talking the smaller 2-3 litres is about a £5. Then you're moving up to about a tenner for a 5 litre. And varying on height when you get into the bigger size, the 7.5, 10 litres, but it can vary anything between 15 and 20 for a big, strong plant, obviously, a bit more than something that's a bit shorter.
But if that's going to break the bank, you can go root balled.
Yes.
But you're limited then on the window when you can supply them. You will supply root balls from what, sort of October, November through till
February, end of February. I wouldn't want to go, because you don't want to be trying to plant a root ball just as it's going to want to start growing. It really needs to get settled in rather than, because you can get a more damage if they're going to grow quicker at that sort of time. But as far as the price difference when you're getting into root ball and the 7.5, 10 litres particularly, it isn't that big a difference, but you plant less because you end up with a bushier plant if you're in a root ball than you do with a 7.5, 10 litre.
And I always think they establish better from a root ball, which is counterintuitive in a way, because you think you're spending more on a container grown plant or containerised plant, but actually the very fact that they're sitting in such lovely compost that you've put there, whereas if you put them in a root ball in the ground into the soil, they're getting straight out into the native soil, and that is the key point, isn't it? They think they don't want to put lots of rich stuff around the roots. You want them to get out into the world, and then they'll establish quicker and better. No, that's lovely. So we got the yew there, which is my favourite. I've always loved yew. I think it's fantastic. And I do mean love Taxus baccata, Mark. I'm not coming on to you there. And then we've got this, which is the...
it's a Japanese holly.
Japanese holly, Ilex crenata, which some people say is the box substitute, which I've never had success with, except in Japan. In Japan, in their acid soil, it's just wonderful. But I haven't in the UK. Even in my own garden, I tried it. And then this is the most wind-resistant plant in the world, isn't it?
Yes, the Elaeagnus abingii creates a nice tight hedge, and also you've got that silvery effect of the underneath of the leaf, which is actually looks very nice in a hedge situation.
I've never noticed the flowers like that before. Is that a particular form that's grown for its flowers?
Yeah, well, it's not I wouldn't say it's a conspicuous flower that you can see when it's in a hedge situation, but that one is showing very much.
Yeah, really nice, really nice. And then Portugal we've talked about, and then we've got the euonymus and the ordinary laurel, the cherry laurel. So lovely herbaceous, alchemilla, nepeta, daylily. What are the? What is this here? Oh, salvia. Salvia rudbeckia, heuchera. Pinks, those are salvias again, are they?
And that's that's
Ceratophysi.
It is, because I bought them. Because you like that one.
Well, it just goes on and on and on,
as
and
you
it's
can see,
hardy, and you can't kill it.
No.
And it seeds around. And lovely euphorbia. Which is this one, Martinia?
Arugaloides purpurea.
Right. And a load more here. So I always think herbaceous have become so popular, haven't they?
Yes, and it's got its place. One thing that I have come across problems with is clients coming back to me in a commercial situation where too much herbaceous has been put in, and them saying to me that, where's my plant? Because they're looking at it in the middle of winter, and then complaining that they've not got enough other things in the design.
Yes.
And so they don't realise that it's, and don't think of dormant, because that's not their forte. They're doing it around a building or that sort of thing. And so they want it to look, and they've not quite got it right on the design stage to get across the years.
I quite agree. I think when you're in a country like Germany, where it's very cold in the winter, or Japan, it's, after the autumn, it's under snow, a metre of snow or lots of snow. And then they have their spring, and their spring comes like that in a week or two. The snow's gone and everything comes out of the ground, and so it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. But in the UK, I quite agree. I think you need a good sort of 30-40% structure.
You do.
At least, and then you have your lovely fillers. Otherwise, they'd look like silage in a wet winter.
It looks nice now.
Nice now, but if we get wet and wind and slugs and it's silage, and who wants to look at silage in the winter? No, and there's acres more over there. Fantastic range, isn't there? How many different lines do you grow?
I'm not sure on that, I'm afraid. It's not something I've concentrated on, to how many different lines we've got across the nursery.
But you did mention that you had access to 45,500 different types of plants.
That is 45,000 different lines. That does include different sizes of, rather than, so probably not 45,000 varieties.
Maybe only 30,000.
possibly
plus.
around that sort of line.
That's pretty amazing,
But
isn't it?
we
That's
can
pretty amazing.
source most material in the hardy nursery stock and tree lines.
Yeah. So you cannot help but mention this bark here.
Yeah.
So Acer, which Acer? Snake
It's
bark?
Acer Davidii Viper.
Viper. Does look a bit snaky, doesn't it? and obviously autumn colour on its way.
Yeah.
So these are grown in quite small pots.
Yeah.
How long have they been in these containers? Do you
Those
reckon?
will have been in those containers probably for 3 years. They're in a point that now they could do with being out onto a project, or they will need to be after this into next summer, spring. They will be potted on into the next size to grow up to the next size plant.
They're lovely bark, aren't they? We often forget about barks, and those next door, they look amazing, don't they? So these are Cornus.
Cornus mass.
Wow. I've never realised how much the bark is so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking there's no fruit on theirs.
No.
But there will be. It didn't flower this year, or what would you say?
I don't think there's bits that are coming through here. I'm not sure that's old flower heads or seed, I think. It's on there, isn't it? That's the seed coming through.
Wow. But I've never, they look amazing. I do think they do need a slightly sheltered position. Do you find? If these are in an exposed garden, they tend to suffer.
I've never come across that suffering as far as that's concerned. Okay, I've never seen, this is the first time we've ever got ones that we've managed to get to this size as far as on Cornus mass. It's not one that they just haven't found the right project this year.
And behind us, I see you've taken some, what are those up on the canes?
You've got Photinia there.
Oh, Photinia.
Yeah, that have been pleached.
Pleached Photinia, and then here you've got
common. That's the, like we had before, the Eleagnus Abingii as a standard.
Yes. Yeah.
And which we've got pleached of that available as well.
And so you've got a 2 metre stem, have you, or is it slightly higher?
They're 180s, I think. If
180s.
I'm about 6 foot, so that stands. They're 180 stems. I try to go. You can normally get between 150, 180, and 2 metres on different evergreen pleach.
Yes. Yeah. Depending on people's fence height.
Wall, fence,
or whatever.
What you fitted it to try and block what's behind, really.
And these haven't been grafted, top grafted. They've just grown.
No, they've just grown
up. Yeah. And how much do these work out at about?
Standards, you're talking sort of about 200. When you get into pleached of something like that, which we can show you, they're sort of more double that, sort of 400.
Right. Okay. Lovely. So you've bought these all in trained?
Yes. Some of them we do ourselves because we do pleach them ourselves. So you've got still Photinias, we've got hornbeam there.
Oh, that's a nice
on the root ball.
So how much is this sort of thing?
You're talking on those, you're talking sort of 400.
Oh, that's Photinia, sorry.
Yes.
400, yeah. Where's the...
There's a hornbeam here.
So just standing here, Mark, I can see you've got magnolia, evergreen oak?
Yes.
Hornbeam, or is it beech?
No, you've got purple beech.
Purple beech, variegated...
Photinia, pink marble.
Pink marble, got all these different range and more to come beyond.
Yeah, and you've got hornbeam there as well.
And then I can see, over there I can see a standard oak.
Yes.
And then I've got ginkgo biloba.
Yep.
I've got a fastigiate something else.
That is, I think you'll find one of the Amalantia obelisk that has got the upright sort of multi-stem.
Yeah, you've got a massive range of all different trees, haven't you?
Yes.
Many, so lots of pleaching, because everybody wants privacy.
Yes, and you see Eleagnus there. Look at how full that is.
Yeah, really full. And that's what people want.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, definitely. If you're going to have a screen, people don't want to wait, do they, to block out whatever they're looking to block out.
And you make these up yourselves?
Some we make up ourselves. The hornbeams are mostly done ourselves, and some things we buy that are ready done.
And there's a difference, isn't there, between, so you make the frame and then you get a standard tree.
Yes.
And then you just pull the branches back onto the framework. So you don't see that sort of tearing when you grow them up, you often see them and they grow up one line and then another and then another. There's two
strictly
different
is
techniques.
pleaching.
Yes, and
tie them horizontal.
Yes.
But to fill something when it's tied horizontal, you could say that's fanned rather than pleached. But it doesn't fill, to try and pleach something and fill the gap in between there when you've got two branches growing absolutely horizontal, takes a long time.
Yeah, and when you see someone who's got a pleach tree and they've had it for 20 years, you can, in the winter you still see the formative lines, which is lovely. But for most people, they just will get a hedge cutter and they'll go with a hedge cutter at that height. And so you won't really notice whether you've done the very intensive training or you've got the hedge on stilts approach more, which you have there. But then that's what they want as a rapid response, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's a rapid screen to do the job.
Lovely. I always think when you buy plants, if they've come from a nursery which is beautifully sheltered, and then you take them to someone's garden that's out in the middle of the moors, you think, oh, they're going to survive. But it's quite nice just seeing your native fenland landscape there with a big pile of sugar beet that's just been lifted. And that wind, is that the southwesterlies?
We're not that. You're talking about this week, it's northerlies. Hence,
is it? Oh, right.
Coats are back out now.
Yes, it suddenly switched the wind.
Yes,
but your plants have to be tough, don't they?
No, it is in the open. There's that, you're talking northeasterly here. You're moving towards winds coming from Siberia when we had the beasts from the east, so they've got to be hardy.
Yeah. But I have to say, although you're containerised or container grown, that soil is magnificent Fenland, peaty soil, isn't it? Metres of it down below your feet. Wonderful stuff. So it's been lovely to chat, Mark. I'm masses of shrubs, this lovely Hebe, Weary Mist, one of your favourites. It's really good, and we haven't even seen how many acres of trees in the field?
It's about 25 acres of trees growing in the open ground as well.
So you're ever expanding?
Yes.
Yeah, well, lovely. I hope that lots of people decide to buy your stock and email us and things, and it's amazing what you can supply.
The range that we can grown here and also traded and sourced, we can find most hardy stuff is what we're looking for, hardy trees and shrubs.
Lovely, thank you very much.